What's up, guys? A couple of minutes later, here we are, Sunday morning. It's hard to tell, but it's raining, and a lot of the guys have just switched from slicks to wets, and then it kind of dried up and they put slicks back on, and there's another race out before them, the Grand Prix cars, which will dry the track out. But literally just in the last 20 seconds or so, the rain's come back in, the wind's kind of changed direction, and the rain's basically come back again. That had just gone through, so I think we're going to have guys really 50-50 decision on whether to put their wets on. There's no standing water on the track, it's quite light rain, but it is pretty damp. So yeah, the guys are going to have to line up in about 10 minutes or so. So you're going to be some kind of last minute decisions on what they're going to do. Good times, we've got cameras in a bunch of cars, so reverse top 10 race. So yeah, all the fast guys are at the back, so tons of passing. I see Mr. Harker here with his wets. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Just walking to the dummy grid where the guys are lining up. You can see now we've got bright sunshine, so the track's going to dry out real quick, especially with these Grand Prix cars out on the circuit. So I think the guys that have put on the wets are going to struggle. They're going to have to really search for water to cool them off, otherwise they're going to overheat real quick. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Going to be fun watching. So all this, the guys are again reverse top 10, so the guys have got to get in the right position. And because there's two classes, we've got Honda Cup and N1. It's kind of like two lots of reverse top 10. So you've got the reverse top 10 for the Honda Cup cars, and then you've got reverse top 10 for the N1 cars. So good times to be had. We've got Mike Hoff Jr. on some wets here. Most of the guys have left the slicks on or put slicks back on, as the case may be. The front two cars here I can see are on wets. So we'll come back to you when they're rolling out, and then I'll be straight into the action. About 5 minutes later, now we got rain coming down again. You'll see it on the cars. So maybe the guys who put the wets on made the right choice. Real gamble. Gonna be some cars all over the shop out there, one way or the other. So be some fun viewing from us here at the track, and hopefully for you guys watching. The previous class out on the track, I think someone ended up in the gravel, so they had to slow things down under a safety car, I think, before they pull them out. So you've got a bit of a delay. You can see cars just coming around here now. So big rooster towers of water, so there's a fair amount out there on the track. But I think these guys are all on slick, so okay, if the boys are rolling out, just a light rain, so guys on the wet's definitely going to have the upper hand on this one. It was a real gamble for these boys, but I think wets are going to win it anyway. We'll let these guys get onto the track, and we'll see how everything pans out. Be a lot of tiptoeing around out there, that's for sure. Race done and dusted. Oliver Gordon here, clear winner by quite some margin. You can see wet tyres, they've got a bit of a working over though. See, they've overheated a bit. Rolled the sharp edge has kind of melted and rolled over, but excellent drive. Second place was Mike Hoff Jr. The white EK again on full wet, so the wet tyres won the day for sure. Come have a look at his tyres and see how they look. These are in pretty good shape actually.
They're about 5 years old.
Yeah, you can see his just on the edges here too, rolled them over, but hey, pretty good shape, definitely the right choice. And then Kevin Hopkins in the maroon EG rounded out third, again full wets, and we had Low in the white Integra that Collins prepped, finished fourth. He only had one pair of wets, so he had wets on the front and slicks on the rear, and as you can imagine, just oversteer central everywhere. But great result, and yeah, made some good passes, which you all have seen in the footage, so good times. See his front tyres too, all the same. Here was Steve Hughes, the real winner of the race because he stayed on slicks, but seriously, the first car on slicks home, I think in fifth. So Steve, tell us about the race, man. It looked hectic out there.
Yeah, it was just sort of a war of attrition, really. You've got to let the guys go through that played the gamble, and you know, they won, they chose wets, and fair play to them, and so then you just got to be hugely patient.
Sure.
Front wheel drive car, massive torquey motor, slick tyres, wet. It was just a recipe for disaster, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all the guys drove really well, and I just kind of eyes forward, kept it together, and just been real patient.
Yeah, nice. Maybe that extra weight in the car helped you out.
It's good for something.
Yeah, but it should be noted, yeah, I mean, super clean race. There was no contact at all, which again, front wheel drive cars understeer. It's so easy to overcook, so it was a good job by everyone. Here with Colin, these guys only had one pair of wets, so they were wets on the front, slicks on the rear. It was pretty crazy. You can see this wet, a proper wet will have a real sharp edge, and these are all rounded over, and you can see the melting, so the tyres got super hot. Just tell us a bit about the race, Colin.
Oh, that race was a little bit handicap for us anyways. We got two wets in the front. We only had some semis at the back, like worn out semis, so it was a little bit wet, a little bit hard. So as you can see in the race, it was just sideways everywhere. So our driver, Casey, is trying to keep the car together. You can see in the race, trying to keep the car together, don't oversteer. Because once you oversteer, you get into the kitty litter, and then once you get the kitty litter, that's it. That's it. So hard race, but he managed to hold it together, which is what we want. But it's okay.
And finished fourth, I think, which is a great result. The next race is a handicap race, so they're staggered based on time, so KC will be one of the last cars to leave, so there should be a lot of passing. Stay tuned for that. I'm here with Oliver. He disappeared after the last race, which he won, and we're keen to have a yarn. Oliver, tell us a little bit about your car, maybe a little bit about your racing history, and I believe this is your second round in Honda Cup ever, so yeah, just tell us a little bit about yourself and the car.
Yeah, cool. So we brought the car probably a couple of years ago now for guy Shane Parsons. We've sort of just run it around Manfield for the last couple of years, just doing some of the Summer Series events. My previous racing experience, I did a few years in the Formula V a few years ago with guys like Rowan Shepherd. So did a season then, and then ever since then just been playing around in tin tops. But yeah, really enjoying getting back into the Hondas. We did the first round at Manfield and then come up here to Hampton. Yeah, and really enjoying it. So
Awesome. So the car is H4, so it's got a 2.4 litre
yep,
motor.
yeah, so it's got the 2.4 litre in it, DC5, but it's quite heavy at the moment, so we're running sort of 120 kilos over, so we're hoping to strip a bit of weight out of it, and then we might be able to catch some of these other fast boys in the drive. But yeah, really enjoying it out here this weekend.
Yeah, sweet. Is the motor the same like stock motor with bolt-ons, or are you allowed to run a different spec motor like Martin with the extra weight? Or
Yeah, we're just running a stock motor on it at the moment, but haven't really played too much with it since we bought it. But yeah, we might look to do a few mods and get a bit more pace out of it.
Awesome, man. So yeah, I think it's a handicap. Do you know where you're starting in the last
Yeah, I
round?
haven't seen the starting, but I'd say it would be sort of near the back. But in the dry, we were sort of a few seconds off the fast guys, so we'll be mid-back, I'd say, for the last race. Yeah, pushing through.
Okay guys, race 3 for the weekend. It's a handicap race, so it's based on the average best times throughout the weekend. The slowest goes off the front, and they're staggered based on time differential on their best times, so the guys at the back will leave a minute or so later than the guys at the front. We've got mostly blue sky, dry track. The guys are all lined up, it's like a couple of cars missing here in the gaps there, but the previous race is finished and these guys are going to be ready to roll out any moment. failure, which is pretty unusual, but he did have an issue earlier in the weekend, and there's thought that it might have weakened something and then it's failed, but it is something you don't see very often, folks. We saw Andrew's car on the tow truck coming back in, so we'll have a bit of a squiz at what's happened there. We got Martin's car, winning car of the handicap race. Big shunt on the rear wheel there, guys. Needs a control arm or two, but not a major. Colin, bit of a struggle in this last race. Tell us what happened.
Now this time around here, we've got a issue with the engine, so it's the computer is limiting it, so it's going to limp mode. So we are around about 3-5 seconds slower now.
Per lap?
Yeah, per lap, as the computer is trying to protect the engine.
Yeah.
So it's probably like an overheat issue or something. So, but then the car's still one piece.
Yes.
But we need to have a look, see what's going on.
Yeah. Came home in one piece, everyone had fun. Still great performance from the mighty B series. They'll be back next round, I'm sure. Well, that's a wrap, guys, from round 3 of the Motul Honda Cup. Some great racing action, as you've seen. Awesome to be part of it, hang with the guys, be part of the event. Stay tuned as we release some more content soon about our new shuttle build. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out previous video. It'll work an all-wheel drive shuttle that we're turning into a fun drag streetcar D-Series Vitara build. As always, subscribe and ring the bell if you want to stay abreast of what's going on. We'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.